Hello, my name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about electric vehicles and investing in them. So in this video, I am going to cover an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund, and an ETC, which is an exchange traded commodity, which are specific to electrical vehicles. So sales for electrical vehicles have tripled from 2019 to 2021. So that is obviously huge. And here in the UK, from 2030, sales of new petrol or diesel cars will be banned. So within the next few years, we should expect to see the sale of electric vehicles increase. So maybe you're quite new to investing, or you're an established investor and you don't want to buy individual stocks or shares of electric vehicle companies. For example, Tesla is obviously the first one that comes to mind. Maybe you are looking for a simpler approach to investing in electric vehicles and potentially investing in an ETF or an ETC that is specific to electric vehicles might be an interesting option for you. So for full clarity, I am not invested in either of the investments that I'm actually going to talk to you about in this video. And the reason that I'm not invested in the first one, which is the ETF, is because I actually have quite a lot of exposure to electric vehicle stocks through the different funds and then also through the individual stocks and shares I'm already invested in. So for me personally, I didn't want to have a specific ETF for electric vehicles. And then the second ETC that I'm going to talk to you about is one that hasn't actually launched yet. So it'll be launching in the next couple of weeks. So I thought it was a really interesting concept and I wanted to share it with you, but obviously I'm not invested in it because it hasn't launched here on the London Stock Exchange just yet, but it should be within the next couple of weeks. I've popped the press release for this ETC down below in case you want a little bit more detail on it, but I will cover a bit about it in this video too. So the first ETF that I'm going to talk to you about is the Ishares Electric Vehicles and Driving Technology ETF. And the symbol for that is ECAR, so nice and simple. It was launched in February 2019 and has an ongoing charge of 0.4%. So with ETFs, you do tend to see that lower fee, so 0.4% is quite low. Sometimes for ETFs, you look at fees of 0.02% or 0.2%, but 0.4% is quite low too. 1 year annualized returns for this are 4.22%. Now that's still great. It's not fantastic. However, a lot of electric vehicle stocks might be classed as growth stocks, and with the recent concerns over inflation and rising interest rates, growth stocks have not performed particularly well. So an annualized return of 4.22%, although not sky high, is still good considering what has been happening in the market recently. Okay, so top 10 holdings. I actually hold the first two of the top 10 holdings separately in my stocks and shares account. So the first one is Tesla. So obviously Tesla has done very, very well in the stock market over the last 5 years. In the last 5 years alone, Tesla's share price is up over 1,500%, which is absolutely huge. So it comes as no surprise that Tesla is their top holding. Then moving on, we have Nvidia Corp, who I am separately invested in as well, and then Maruti Suzuki, then Ford Motor Companies, then BYD Limited, Toyota Motor Corp, Nissan Motor Limited, Denso Corp, Eaton PLC, and Paccar Inc. So those are the top 10 holdings within this ETF. This ETF has 90 holdings within it, so a nice diverse range of electric vehicle stocks. As I said, I'm already very exposed to tech and then also electric vehicle stocks, so I won't be adding this ETF to my portfolio, but if you are just starting out and you have a specific interest in electric vehicles and you think that this is something that could do really well, then it might be worth considering for your own personal portfolio. Okay, so moving on to the second way that you could invest in electric vehicles, and this one is a little bit more unusual. It is an ETC, which is an exchange traded commodity. So what's interesting about this one, first of all, is that it's very new and hasn't even launched yet. It should be launching in the next couple of weeks here in the UK. And it is the Global Palladium Fund Physical Electric Vehicle Metals ETC. So it's focusing on physical metals rather than individual stocks and shares. that are related to electric vehicles. So it includes copper, nickel and cobalt, which are integral to the electrical vehicles, and it also contains platinum and palladium, which is used in hydrogen production and storage. Now, I've popped the press release for this down below just in case you want to look at it in a bit more detail. I just thought this was a really interesting way of potentially investing in electrical vehicles without actually directly investing in electrical vehicles. So you are invested in the metals that are used to produce electric vehicles. So it might be worth checking out in a little bit more detail. As I said, I am not invested in this investment either. I am invested in a single ETC that focuses on palladium only, but I don't have any investments that focus on any other precious metals at the moment. So in case you're interested, the palladium investment that I have is the Ishares physical palladium ETC, but this is one that I'm currently reviewing at the moment. Let me know in the comments down below if you're invested in any electrical vehicle companies, whether that be individual stocks and shares or ETFs or managed funds. I'd be really interested to hear. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and have a really lovely day. Bye bye.